In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make your own concrete plant pots. The first thing you'll need are some silicone molds. I got these ones off of Amazon and a couple of them from Etsy, and there's also a few in here that I made myself. Next, you'll want just a basic measuring cup with a spout, and this is called a vibrating plate. This helps get the air bubbles out of the concrete. The cement that has worked best for me is the Rapid Set Cement All that you can buy at your local hardware store. You'll also need a 5-gallon bucket, and this is a handheld cement stirrer. If you want to do this as like a one-time project, you definitely don't need all of this stuff. You can easily use a paint stick to stir up your cement, and you don't really need a vibrating plate. I can show you what to do instead. The consistency you're looking for when making these plant pots, I would say, is like melted ice cream. It's pretty liquidy, but it's still a little thicker than water. During this process, you might want to consider wearing a mask. As you can see, a lot of the dust is flinging out of the container, and it can be pretty tough on your lungs if you're inhaling it. If you feel like it's too thick or too liquidy, go ahead and adjust as needed. You can always add more water. You can always add more cement. In this round, I added too much water and went back and added a scoop of cement. But also keep in mind that this is rapid set, so it will set pretty quickly, so you have to move kind of fast when working with this type. Once you feel like your cement is ready to go, plop a silicone mold on top of your vibrating plate and fill it. If you don't have a vibrating plate, no big deal. You'll just want to tap the sides of the silicone mold and also the bottom of it to get the air bubbles out. Think about how you might burp a baby. You're going to do the same thing with your silicone mold. The air bubbles should pop once they get to the surface, but if they don't, you can always use your finger and just poke at them. The reason why you want to get those air bubbles out is because if you leave them in, they turn into holes in your plant pot. Here's a better view of the air bubble that popped up when I put it on top of the vibrating plate. This is rapid set, and it typically only takes a few hours to dry, but I like to wait at least 24 hours to make sure that they are completely set before removing. This is just an example of what some of them look like when you're done. Now, the next step is to add drainage holes to your plant pots. These are called masonry drill bits, and they're made specifically for concrete and bricks. I also use them on my ceramic plant pots that I find that don't come with drainage holes. The process of creating your own drainage hole is super simple. I like to put a rag down in my sink just to create a softer surface for the pots. The key to not breaking either the ceramic pots or your concrete pots is to make sure you're drilling with water running. It just helps lubricate the drill bit through the concrete. If you're like me and can't stand when soil drains out of your flower pots with the water, you can get these mesh pads that keep the soil in place. They don't often fit directly into the pots you just made, so you can easily cut them to the size that you need. Here are some of the recent concrete planters that I've made. If you see one that you like and you want a tutorial on how to decorate it, let me know. Thanks for watching. Follow along for more plant tips.